I do actually want to talk about Kristaps a little bit. I know beforehand we talked about how we wanted to be careful with it because I don't want to, like you said, it's his third game back. And so I think it's kind of hard and unfair to evaluate him as a player this early. Like, he's not going to be good for a while. And I know that all of that sounds bad, that we have to wait again for him to be good. But to me, I don't think that's an indictment on him. I think it's because he had back-to-back knee injuries and he's coming back from it. It's just, it would take anybody a while to be good again or to be themselves again.
Well, yes, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt the Mavericks as a team.
Exactly.
You know, like,
I know it sucks.
You're counting on Porzingis to be
the unicorn.
Yeah, a guy that everybody thinks he has the potential to be a franchise player. You know, obviously he's not as good as Luka, but he has the chance to be a really high-end all-star in this league. Mm-hmm. And for this roster, you need that.
Yeah.
You need him to be top-level guy in order for you to move in the standings and to go deep in the playoffs. Now, they're not going to win the championship this year because they just don't have enough good players outside of those two. But you can perhaps go to the second round and maybe fight really hard in that second round and take it to a 6 or 7 game series or whoever you play in that second round. But without him being at that top level, it's really hurting the Mavericks. And it's not fair to Porzingis because he can't control it. But it's also not fair to the Mavericks, you know, because it's
a sucky situation,
it is,
basically. Yeah. Here's a good question. Do you think that he should be playing differently given the fact that he is struggling? Or is it just a matter of time? Just let him play.
I don't know if he's ever quite felt comfortable in this offense. And I know people will say, well, you know, the 30-point the 30-point double-double he had in the bubble, it was a handful of games. And you know what? He looked good. But the Mavericks were 2-6. So it's not like they ran through the teams in the bubble when both him and Luka were averaging 30 points and 10 rebounds. They still were losing games. So there's still something missing with that.
But do you think, is that an indictment on Kristaps or is that an indictment on the roster just not being good? Like, you have two guys that are playing like all-stars and you still go 2-6. Does that say something about Luka and KP, or is that more just about that roster wasn't as good as we thought it was?
Well, it's not. The roster's not. Carlisle makes the team better than what it is based on his system and putting players, but the players aren't as good as we all want them to be.
Yeah.
But I think it's a big question mark. I don't think you've seen enough of top-notch Porzingis and top-notch Luka to have any clue what you're supposed to do with this roster.
And top-notch Luka KP duo.
At the same time.
Yeah.
You got 8 games of it.
Yeah.
Essentially in the bubble and a couple in the playoffs. But I just don't think you've seen enough. I don't know if they really know what to do with these two.
Okay, so back to my original question. Do you think that Kristaps should be playing differently while he is struggling?
He's a shooter. You can't ask me to have him not shoot the ball when he has a shot.
Yeah.
And he's got to shoot the ball. And
he's not a good post player, so I don't really want him playing in the post. Now, he likes the post, so, you know, whatever. It is what it is. But also, one of the reasons why he was called a unicorn is because he could shoot those threes.
I thought we saw one play one time in Milwaukee where it was a curl off at the elbow.
At the elbow, yeah.
And it was a wide open shot. And I was like, why? We should do that a little bit more for him. I know the mid-range game, you know, all the whatever. The fact is, that's his shot. Well, I get so annoyed with, I'm an analytics guy.
Yeah.
I love the advanced numbers, but I think you can't hinder yourself.
There's a balance.
You know? Yes.
Yeah.
Analysis can be paralysis.
And
sometimes I think the Mavs paralyze their offense a little bit. They take the only thing Porzingis is elite at is a mid-range jumper when he's open. And that sounds ridiculous, but that's not really that high. You know, not a lot of guys can do that.
Yeah. True.
So why can't we run a little bit more of him coming off a curl at the elbow with a pull-up jumper? Try it out, you know, let him get going a little bit. He's always shooting it 35 feet out.
Yeah, I that exact play was what I was going to think of. Because Kristaps is really mobile, but I think while he's struggling shooting, maybe use his mobility off the ball instead of forcing him to make a play with the ball. Well, I don't know.
He's not good making the play with the ball.
Yeah.
He's just not.
I mean, at least right now, yeah.
He hasn't been ever since we got him.
Yeah.
So, if you watch highlights of New York, yeah, you're going to see a highlight of him doing that. But what about the 13 other times where he drove it and lost the ball? He loses the ball on his dribble.
It's weird. Maybe because he's so tall.
Well, in the ball, it takes 9 seconds from the ball to hit the ground and back up to his hand because he's a giant out there. So he, to me, is a catch and shoot guy. Now, can he be elite at that? Elite to the point where it helps you win a championship? I think maybe, but that's what he is.